Hi guys, I'm Karina, and I'm choosing to talk about a program called From Gangs to Jobs. This program primarily focuses on gang members that are currently incarcerated and are looking for a way out of that way of life. Um, what was interesting to me about the program was that it serves both juveniles and adults. Um, it's very important because it encapsulates the ages that are very difficult for some people that have offended, mainly their teenage years. I feel like there's more incentive for this for people that join this program, as the founder of From Gangs to Jobs was also a gang member himself. His name is Natividad Mendoza. He was affiliated with the gangs in Fresno, California in the late 70s and early 80s. He was in and out of the system for about 18 years and had been incarcerated 16 before he was given rehabilitation instead of prison from a particular judge. As a result, he saw his sentence as a message from above, and thus decided to help others that have the same history or similar history as him. Natividad's program is based in Phoenix, but he has some offices around the valley. I encountered him in Guadalupe. It is the same town I work in. I have spoken with Natividad, and I know there are a lot of resources he depends on from the community, as well as donations to fund his program. He also notes that his program is based on religion, and he uses the influence of biblical stories to impact the life of the youth within that community. His own experience comes in handy when dealing with these youth, as he can relate to most of the stories that they tell him. His program is set up as a 3-step program that works within prison until they get released. It approximately lasts up to 6 months in total, and the first block of time usually involves a 12-inch roadmap, which is taught months prior to their release. The curriculum basically includes finding the person's preferred future, having them take ownership of what they've done, and ultimately just making realistic plans for themselves for their future after they get out of the prison. The next part of the program involves progress throughout 60 days after their release. This part of the program focuses on what they do after they are released outside of prison. So usually they look for housing outside of the prison system. They look for social services, mental health services, and overall they look for mentors or journey partners so that they can stay on track on their goals. After that, they will complete the last block of mentoring to 6 months of total rehabilitation. This would involve finding resources for different aspects of their life, as well as finding sobriety and overall serenity, possibly becoming a partner themselves within the program, and earn a 6-month graduation certificate saying that they had completed the rehabilitation program. Natividad also noted that there are some setbacks to this overall program, but only a very few. The setbacks include not having a lot of mentors within the program to actually guide the people that come out of prison. He also mentioned having people come over to his house to actually be mentored by him specifically. He also noted that sometimes some of the program members find themselves stealing and stealing from his house and doing all these bad things. But he doesn't really focus on the bad actions they take. He first takes a step back and looks at a way that in which he could personally help that person before he goes and tells the authorities. Yeah, on a side note, he doesn't call the authorities when that happens to him just because he feels that it wouldn't serve them or the community to have them locked up again. Positive factor contributing to the overall program has included the aspect of preparing them for reentry, and just for the same reason there has been a growth of interest expressed in that program because of that. It's also shown that people who do follow programs like this have more chances of doing better than those who are not prepared for reentry. I found that programs like this specific program works well with juveniles as it affects the way they think about their actions overall. They also have a mentor that has gone through some of those situations and really empathizes with them. So Natividad really looks at what those people have been through, and he tries to incorporate that into the teachings he has while they are being rehabilitated. I feel like due to that aspect, there's more of a successful completion within the program as told to me. It is very selective, but this only reinforces its exclusivity and shows greater chances that chances for others to rehabilitate.